Hey everybody, welcome back to Records of Evil. It has been a few weeks, unfortunately, it's been a lot of, scheduling and issuing problems, and yes, we are starting a few hours later today. I think, just until, people's schedules can be fixed up a little bit, we can get some consistency again, we might be starting a little later on most of these days, rather than 1 o'clock, either the 2 or 3 o'clock time slot to start. We'll still go for 3 hours. Just letting everybody know that now. Regardless, though, if you're new to joining us, well, you missed a lot of stuff. You missed a lot of things, and this is a lawful evil D&D game where these folks are serpents of Asmodeus, and they are in a modern-day version of Beirut. So that is the basics of what's been going on. And they are currently in Os. Effectively, Toril, the planet that Faerun is in, version of Australia. Faerun is Europe. If you don't know these things, now you do. Mm-hmm. And of course, you were in a very nice deserty wastelands, the Unvala Wastes. I think I'm remembering mine correctly because I don't want to open up that map because it takes
that map breaks my browser.
It's
that's a good point.
Like
I should open that map.
300 megabytes, and I've got so much running right now. I don't want to open it. It would break everything.
Freezes my browser for a few seconds. I don't want to touch it.
I've already started.
I just downloaded it.
It takes a moment to open up for me. Anyway, and
It
you're
does.
and that's why I don't want to do it, because it would take a moment, and I've got a lot of things running, and it would probably break everything.
Yeah.
I did that the other time we were streaming. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to open it up now that we started," and it breaks everything.
The notecast, we're in a picturesque desert vacation.
Yeah.
Of hell and demons.
Anyway, you were left
Giant freeze.
Monsters.
and giant monsters, and your guide left you behind.
Yep.
Okay, I did jitter for a little bit, but I don't know if that was just on my end.
Not sure about that one. So your guide left you behind and is going to either... He's not technically waiting for you. He's off doing some of his stuff on his own that he does. He says, you can meet me here within this period of time. If you do, great. If not, I'm either going to assume you found your own way out, or you're dead.
Yep.
Neither really affect him. You still have your vehicle. He's going off on his vehicle. And you had a nice encounter with a brain fart. Is it Baylor or Pit Fiend? Which one is which again?
I think it was a pit fiend.
Pit Fiend's
It was
devils.
a Pit
Pit Fiends are devils. Baylor is demons. See, the brain fart just loves to exist in my mind, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. It shouldn't exist, but it does. Anyway, so the Pit Fiend showed up. You gave it your message, and it then, was like, ha 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 ha, and then just left. He didn't really respond to your message, I recall. Not in a way that would be positive for you. So now you're going to go and meet your good old friend down in his fortifications in the pit. Where is his name on my notes? Unless one of you has a quick reference.
I don't think I wrote the name down.
The name of I have it. 1 second. It is Astrith, right?
Yeah, Astrith. There we go. I found it.
Oh, yeah, you know this guy, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't. I've never met this guy.
No. They freed him from hell.
As one does.
We did.
Good times, good times. So yeah, I believe you said you were flying down towards the fortifications, that we had 2 people transformed into birds and another one that could... Oh yeah, and Jess could fly. That's right, she's got
It's just can
Yeah,
fly.
Jess could fly and was carrying me.
Mm-hmm. We were leaving off just as you were flying down into the strange structures that have been built on the edge of this massive wound in the universe. It almost seems like it's just this hole that falls away into nothingness. it is quite intimidating, as it's like this like just deep wound that falls down. And as I said before, you can feel the magical energy just leaking out of here. It's almost as if like there's this, for those of you that especially have magical natures or deal with magic, can feel it even more, that this place is just bleeding magical energy. And you'd think it'd be helpful for you, but it also just is like, it's overwhelming. So you'll kind of move down. Were there a particular area you're aiming for? There's a number of these structures. As I said, there's some that seem very old and some that seem a lot newer.
I mean, where are the demon hordes settling?
Good question. You don't know. You saw a lot of flying devils around the place, but they seem to be kind of almost patrolling around the area.
About like partways down, little songbird Dox is gonna land on Purcell's head. Just kind of look around with his bird face to see if there's any indication where there are devils coming in and out of.
All right, just roll me some perception then.
Okay. 21.
All right, you'll kind of take a look around and kind of judge for a little bit, like where everything is. You can definitely make out that there is certainly like a patrol of the like spined devils, the small horde that was. It looks to be the small horde that was unleashed when Astrith came out. So there's about like 3 or 4 dozen of these spine devils that seem to be patrolling the area. You do see signs of some other devils in some of the newer structures that have been built in here, coming down. Like, you don't see a very good way down to them other than flying, and you can actually see what looks to be a number of humans in the area.
Fair enough. I'm gonna, because I can't speak, I'm a bird, I'm gonna just kind of peck Purcell's noggin a little bit and try to like gesture towards a direction where there are where there seem to be the most devils hanging out, because that could be the way to go. You know, let the two who can actually talk discuss it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the direction things seem to go. I'll say, sure, let's go that direction.
Okay. Then you can certainly move down into the structures. Probably the one closest to you. At very least, Therzy is going to get like a strange escort of the spined devils who seem very interested in her presence. I'm guessing it's tiny birds are with her. Tiny birds are kind of ignored.
Thank God, I'm not eating.
Yeah, Purcell, you certainly get this like weird. You can feel like it's not being very like in quotation friendly towards you, but certainly it's not like a super threat that seems to be occurring at very least right now.
Mm-hmm.
The spine devils are definitely looking at you with like, you know, like licking their lips, you know, like kind of like screeching, making noises, kind of like looking kind of like you're not sure if it's hungry, intimidating, whatever. They just don't seem very friendly towards you at all. Certainly. But
I lick my lips back.
okay.
Oh my god.
Tasty spine devil.
But certainly with Therzy there won't be any obvious attacks. And you'll manage to kind of land on this. And then like this kind of like huddled lady, kind of like simply dressed. Definitely looks like the clothes are kind of like modern, but they're like slightly like beat up, and looks to be a little like worn, and she'd be like, "What can we do for you, oh great and powerful one?"
It's an old lady?
A younger lady.
Young lady.
Mm-hmm. But
And
like
just landed in front of her?
yeah, she's like haggard. She was in the building that you were in, and she's gonna kind of walk up. Hey, is there something you need? She's talking directly to Therzy right now.
Okay.
And Therzy's just looking confused. So if you want to say something and interrupt this, go ahead.
Might I ask who you are?
Oh, you speak for the mistress here. I see then. I am Ilya. I am the one in charge of this building for
And
our
actually,
masters.
I'll also be speaking in Infernal? Yeah, Infernal. That's the word. I have that.
She's going to be speaking common, and then like as soon as you start speaking infernal,
Does she
switch,
understand Infernal?
she will switch over to a very broken infernal.
Okay. Then I'll probably start speaking common again after that.
Yeah, Ilya. Yes, thank you. So you are also a servant of our yes, I assume.
Yes.
What does your great mistress bring you here for today? We've been behaved here, so if you say so, please do not, say anything bad. I'm sure your mistress is also a very good mistress and treats you well.
Yes, we seek an audience with, back to notes, we seek an audience with Astrith.
I'm sure you are travelers that I'm assuming do not know the correct building. Please tell me I'm correct.
Yes. We need some direction.
Alright. Well, perhaps I can guide you there to the proper location. Unless you would like to fly there yourself, oh great mistress. What do you think? My servant?
I forgot the voice changed. I was expecting Scottish, not that.
Oh my god.
Direction would be appreciated.
Such a smart thing. You're a good servant, you are. Oh, alright, allow me to escort you, then, oh great and powerful ones. Please don't kill us. We have done nothing to break the laws of this land. She's just gonna smile.
I keep an eye on her.
Yeah, I'm
Docs
sure.
Docs will just kind of bamf out of Tiny Bird and just be normal changeling.
Oh my! Shape changes.
Yeah, Mishka will pop back into normal Mishka.
I mean, I'm gonna give you at least Mishka is like a tiefling, so they could pass it off as like, oh,
Yeah.
a devil kid or
I'm gonna
something.
guess
Shouldn't be too
this
surprised.
person has never seen a changeling, and changelings look very weird.
Yeah, no, not at all. Well, so, great servant of the devil mistress, why do you serve? Our people? Well,
Which one is she talking to?
Vercel. She's assuming Vercel is like one to speak to because Vercel is a lizard folk, and there are species of lizard folk here in Olus. You have to remember.
Hmm.
Our people happen to be living here before there was a hostile takeover, and things have been nice since then. Sure, nice. I love our new masters who have given us fine employment and make sure we have the greatest of all benefits and treat us nicely. I have no issues at all. How about you? Do you have any? I'm assuming you are treated well and lovingly by your powerful mistress.
We are from beyond the veins. We are associated with another. We are associated with another demon. Or sorry, we're associated with another devil, and we need to. And we've come to with a message for Asterith.
Oh, well, that's excellent. Do you think our Lord Astris will have perhaps some business to attend to somewhere? That he will have to deal with far away?
It's possible. We are simply messengers.
Well, I'll be glad to take you to where the message may be delivered. Excellent. All right, you'll be led through a number of buildings where you can see that there are a good number of devils. There seems to be more devils than you originally saw leaving with Astrid. He left with a pretty big entourage, but there seems to be, like, more than what started.
I mean, of course he's been bringing more. I mean, why wouldn't you come to a place full of magic to rip open more tears in the fabric?
No issue with it. I'm sure there's no horrible repercussions to the world.
I mean, and I'll tell you, it's pretty obvious that the people aren't slaves, but they've obviously been, like, conquered. They seem to be people that were probably just living here and have obviously been, like, you know, again, you can tell that people probably have lived here for some time, as there's an entire thing of the old structures towards, like, the bottom, or that
I feel like it's a bit like, you can leave, but good luck.
Yeah,
Like,
good
it's
luck,
a bit of that.
Good luck crossing
luck.
the wastes.
I mean,
You probably have some sort of magic barriers here and stuff set up, and
They'll throw a pit fiend at you.
I mean, the people lived here. There have people been living in the wastes for ages, but they're just not many of them, and many of them are dangerous, you know?
yeah,
So,
but a mass exodus of people leaving would probably end in a lot of them dying.
probably. So, yeah, you got under new management, certainly. And the management doesn't treat them greatly. Unfortunately, it seems. The worst? Probably not, but hard to say. Anyway, eventually, though, you'll be led to, through the number of these buildings, into one, where you'll see, like, as soon as you kind of enter, you'll see another Earnest actually kind of walk up to your group. And Infernal, like, go up to Therzy and kind of be like, "What are you doing here?" The question is, does Therzy know Infernal? I don't think she ever learned.
Would she have gotten Infernal as part of the thing? Is it like a package deal?
Did she learn because of the devil-shaped thingy, or?
I don't think she learned much from the devil-shaped thingy. She pretty much just got devil shape.
Okay.
So she probably doesn't know. Gotta be honest about that one.
That's cool.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Is Marcel going to continue being the servant now?
I mean, yeah, might as well.
Yes, gibbity gobbity goop, I'm back on you too.
Please stop.
Yeah, I'll just, before she can even say much, I'll reply. My mistress, you know, or whatever. What was the question?
What are you doing here?
Oh. My mistress is here with a message.
she's gonna kind of like look, like very like a little quizzically and like kind of just like, look. A message. Oh. Huh. Different than I thought. Harlot.
Did you say harlot?
She said harlot.
Okay. I'm not translating that for
Don't translate that last part.
No, I'm not.
She's just kind of giving her a side eye, like, because Mishka knows. She's kind of like looking at it.
Tox has no idea what's being said. It's just weird screeching and devil noises.
Uh-huh. You'll notice that was the earnest that, for those of you that remember, that was basically at Astrid's side.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
She's gonna wander.
Oh, okay. So she'd remember us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Well,
she
then I
doesn't
wouldn't say
remember.
much.
But
I'd just say we then.
Doesn't
but
remember one being
Therzy
an
looks
Aranus.
different.
Right. Okay. I will pretend like we're under her then.
Yeah. So it's basically like Vercel and Mishka, and she's like, "What the hell are you two escorting an Aranus here for? What the hell is your plan?" Suspect. Anyway, so she'll kind of let you go and let you continue your on into like it's kind of like a little bit of a throne room and a little bit of like a meeting room. So there's certainly.
So is this Lay? Was that her name?
No, Leia was with. Leia was the one who came with Nox.
Yeah.
Got it.
Leia's, now that you have two Iranesses and an imp back at
okay.
your apartment who are destroying
Right.
it.
Because I knew Kahira was the one at the back and back at home, but I forgot Lay came with.
Yeah.
I'd watch that sitcom. Two Aranus and an imp. Whatever.
Well, as soon as Jess comes back, it'll be 3 Iranesses and an imp.
Oh, that's season 2.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
The first one, no, that's season 3. The first one was an Earness and an imp.
Oh, yeah.
The second one was 2 Earnesses and an imp.
It's like, I have beheaded the couch! Its monstrosities and darkness are gone from this world. Kahira destroyed the couch. Sorry, guys. Kahira destroyed the couch. Lay also then had massive amounts of sex on the what's left of the couch. So I don't know if you really want to repair it anyway.
Hit new show coming to NBC this summer.
No. It's got to be on like HBO because it's gonna be too adult.
Anyway, yeah. So,
well, anyway, in this kind of area, you'll see a number of like large insectile devils, kind of like hanging out on either side, and a number of various other devils. The pit fiend from before is here. Kind of crouched down, enjoying some kind of like drink that's being poured by like a human servant who's looking a little like nervous. And then kind of like on a throne that seems to be made of like it's made of human skulls and bones is
Nice.
a very familiar looking devil. Ah! My releasers, what do you want? I told my friend here not to murder you just because, well, I wanted to listen to you. A message for me? Let me guess. I can predict it here. The old man was like, causing too much trouble. Don't do that. That's bad. Am I right?
I'm not sure what the message was.
close enough. It was to hold off until his plans can be completed.
Hold off until his plans can be completed. Well, what is his plans? What are his plans? The fact is, you little worms released me. I don't think by choice. It was more accident time. I've been thinking about this a lot, now that I've claimed my little kingdom here, and have been amassing my power. Now, the old man should know I am not a threat to him, nor would I defy him. He is our great and powerful lord, master of the nine, creator of all that is unholy in these realms, etc., 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 the usual. Still, I would like a little respect, and I don't think I'm quite getting it. Especially not from you lot. You don't seem the respectful kind. So, what should I do? How should I treat you? What's the plan? Also, did I get the message right, or is there something else that I'm missing?
Like I said, close enough.
You've kind of hit this issue where I've forgotten so much stuff, I don't know what Docs would say.
Maybe we should just go over that a little bit.
I needed too long, didn't read.
Yeah, but basically, we were sent here because he was starting to cause a lot of trouble. And basically he was drawing too much attention to the fact that demons are around again. And Asmodeus didn't want that because it was drawing too much attention from people and didn't want potential interference when he came back. If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Because
he's
when humans...
he's amassing the forces of hell on the material plane by using the energy of the wound. But he's also kind of built his own, like, what almost called kingdom here. He's kind of carved out an area. Obviously, he's already conquered a small group of people. Not great for that end. You know, that's kind of like a, oh, hey, this seems bad. And then he's, yeah. He's obviously not necessarily following the plans of Asmodeus.
Also, since he was before your time, basically, we probably would have gone over the fact that we called the Asmodeus for aid using, like, a summoning ritual. And Asmodeus didn't just send a powerful demon, he sent, like, a Lord of Hell to help us.
Nice.
And he's like, I don't know why Asmodeus sent me, but I'll help you out, because that was the agreement, and then I'll go do my own thing. And so he helped us out and left. And now apparently he came here. Yeah, but basically now Asmodeus is like, he's causing too much trouble. We don't want too much attention before I can complete my plans, because it might cause problems in the
short/long term. Either of them, it's causing issues.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. And also, I don't think anyone had ever explained to Docs what, like, the plan with the eye was. If anyone that even knew it, that was never explained.
I think we did to some degree, but basically the idea was, you get the eye, you get the girl, you do the ritual, and summon Asmodeus to this, summon an avatar of Asmodeus to this plane of existence.
The current issue with the girl is, not only do you have to find someone who's descendant of the original contractor, but you have to find one that is completely willing to go along with the ritual. The idea of the ritual is, effectively, the person is supposed to birth a vessel through Asmodeus' power that can be a physical vessel in this world for his spirit, in a way. To basically create a new avatar on the plane. It wouldn't be as powerful as Asmodeus completely, but it would be an avatar of Asmodeus' will on the plane. But the thing is, because they're devils, they can't force people to do it. You know, it's not in their nature.
Yeah, because devils.
Yeah, they're lawful. They're not going to be like, demons would take advantage of people and would be very awful and, you know, have horrible, horrible rituals. Devils, still not great, but they're going to, you know, try to just, they want to do the age-old, you know, convince people. This is a great idea. Give birth to my physical body. Thank you.
Okay. In that case, Dox will step forward, and I'm gonna bardic inspiration myself, which is just a bonus action, so that's fine. And Dox will speak up in a very sort of passive manner, and say, well, you have carved out such a lovely kingdom here.
It's a piece of shit. Don't
Yeah,
patronize me.
I'll be honest, it is. There's much more you could conquer.
There's no reason to right now, though. The weave flows forth with such great power here. It's almost as if we feel like we're back home in the Nine Hells, and the energy around us at all times. It's wondrous.
Okay, another player to DM, because Dox would know that this was the plan, to get him to maybe stop attacking people or to stop summoning devils.
Probably just to like lay low for a bit would be the best way. You know, like right
Just
now.
maybe he could still summon devils. It'd be fine.
Like
Yeah, he can amass an army, but he just
Okay.
can't draw too much attention to himself. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is by taking over an area, people have noticed.
and
But if people continue to notice, people might amass some kind of resistance.
and
Okay.
and amassing forces is not necessarily the best idea either, because by amassing forces, you're kind of getting into that area where the enemy knows about you. You know, like the thing is, because you know that it's been difficult to dimensional travel for a while. Not impossible, but like traveling to places like the Nine Hells, the Abyss, even Celestia, any of the outer planes has been a little bit more restricted and a little bit more difficult. And because of that, there's been this kind of lack of outsiders. Most of the outsiders that are in the modern world now have been there for thousands of years.
Okay.
They got stuck here and never came back. That's why there are actual devils, demons, and celestials that are out there. The thing is, because they've been here for so long, there are those of them that are like, they just get along with society. You know, they're dicks and
They're
stuff.
actors. They're
Well, it's like a demon
or the
would be like a jerk still, but it's like they get along with society. It's just they'll find ways to take advantage of it for their own demonic wants, you know, similar to like a devil. And then the angel, you know, they're less holier than thou. They're more like, you really should be good, but they're not like forcing the thing as much anymore as they probably would have.
Okay, with that crucial information, because I'm an idiot and forgot. Docs will continue to say, all we're simply asking is just a small amount of time to finish our part of the deal and get this girl and get our avatar of our good lord here. And then you can amass as many devils as you want without any consequence. But the unfortunate side of things, if the amassing continues, there runs the risk of more humans noticing and bringing their militaries and their powerful weapons.
You don't think that there's already been some notice of various things? You're foolish to think that you already haven't fucked things up beyond belief.
To be fair, I kind of just got I got kind of dragged into a van by these people. They didn't really tell me anything.
Well,
So far, those incidents have been spread out over a wide area and relatively quiet. Relatively.
Well, let me inform you of a few things that are going on, because as much as I am now here on this plane, I at least keep my eyes and ears out, so to say, on the various goings-on of the multiverse. You already were summoning an army. Did you forget? I know of their existence. They've been slowly but surely amassing and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. We knew about the leak, but we're not the only ones. Already, ancient wounds are being reignited. The raised city of the elves. The demons are finding their way back into it. It's been so long since those ruins were there. It's now just a smoking crater, but those same portals that they once had there for their invasion. They're using it again. And the Celestials have been on the move too. I'm fairly certain there are some assassins that are after you. Fortunately, I think that your protectors have done their job. Good for you.
That's what they've been there for.
The hand of the Ruby Lord is there all the time, right on your shoulder. You're a bunch of putzes.
We are willing puppets.
Yes, you are.
What else?
You know, you really shouldn't trust him. You do a lot. But, you know, you really shouldn't. I can give you great reasons why. Granted, it's not my place to stop you. And as much as I both despise him and don't trust him, I understand his power and I do respect it. And when you're in that circle of power and have the connections that I do, you really can't... Beggars can't be choosers. You know, when you were gone, he tried some other attempts to get to the material world. Didn't work as well. So I came here, and I'm happy about it. I don't think he necessarily wanted me to arrive. I've been thinking about it, too. I think it's because my nature and what he was attempting to create with me allowed me to come here. It's the small bit of human blood in me.
Well,
Anyway.
you respect his power. I suspect we will succeed whether or not you stop what you're doing. But when he arrives here, do you really want to face him having disobeyed him?
Oh, I never said I'd disobey him. That's not for me. I technically could. Because as much as I'm within the purview of his powers, all of our kind still has a... What's the proper way of saying it? A freedom to choose. Now, granted, that freedom to choose is more likely betray and murder each other for power. Mephi knows all about that. So does Laz. But still. No, don't worry. Your message has been given loud and clear. I can keep things on the DL. We can slowly sit here and gain our power. And, well, I have been thinking there's a few of these strange creatures that just might be a little bit useful.
You can rein in... if you can rein in Cryorex, Beerus, Tucson, and Oxygen, then I guess that is your prerogative, but again, don't cause too much trouble before Asmodeus can finish his plans.
Before the old man can show up and be like, "Oh, hello! Nice to see you again. How are things? How's the mother? Fine? Oh, great." The usual. conversations as it is.
There's not much we can do to directly stop you. So...
This is true. I don't think my friends would be very happy if you tried anything. Just saying.
You go ahead.
So, I'll keep things a little quiet, make my little plans, and when things end up in the, positive for you, or negative, I'll either say something about, "I'll told you so," when your souls are hardly devoured and enslaved, etc., etc., or I'll be able to say, "Oh, very good," and give you a little reassurance, and then come greet the old man and his new, fresh spring chicken of a body.
My goals do not require my survival.
You see, that's where we have an issue. I like my existence. My existence has been in a strange, nebulous place. If you understand what I'm saying. It's the fact that I am here, and caught between two worlds in a little bit of a way. You're not quite full devil, mostly, but just that little bits of the foul mortal blood within me have just been enough to keep things a little bit on edge with some of the other bigwigs down in hell. And now that you're free to be on your own, be your own man, the old man's barking at your door saying, "No, no, no, you got to stay under my purview, under my roof." Bastard.
Well, a fence is better than a leash.
You're quite right. A fence is better than a leash. I've been under a leash for quite a little bit now. He's just going to give a very wry smile at that comment. So, yes, you've delivered your message. I haven't murdered you yet, just because, well, I've really no need to. You did infiltrate my territory, intimidate my people, nearly cause my top general to choke in laughter when he was trying to describe your presence here. That would have been hilarious and awful. As the Pippin's just stuffing his mouth with stuff. They don't need to eat. He's just enjoying shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, our message has been delivered. So, we will take our leave.
Will you? You say you'll take your leave, but I think there's a requirement I have of you before you leave. Just something a little bit of a... A little bit of tribute, let's say. How about that? I'm sure you've done some things, and you are entering into my territory. So just a little something for me to make me feel as though it's more than you're just annoying messengers that are being very demanding, and that you're respectful individuals.
Name your toll.
Oh, I'll let you try to guess something good. I'm sure you're creative and have an idea. I certainly wouldn't ask for something like your big old eye.
I'd be talking. What do I have? Would my character have an idea?
Or is it just like a random?
Yeah, it's about where I'm at with docs. Have any inkling?
Insight.
Insight? Alright.
Yeah, you can roll insight.
Bam.
I'll
21.
roll as well.
Insane.
Huh? Okay. So, Bristol has no idea.
I don't know.
Mishka, you definitely get the sense that, like, his implications are something of, like, a physical tribute or something. Something as of a tribute. What form it takes, that's up to you. Whether it be something you physically would do as a people, or something that you would give, up to you. Docs, you get the feeling, just because of the way that he's been, like, kind of talking, it sounds as though more he actually wants you to give something.
You ever been to the Bahamas before?
Never.
Okay.
Something unmuted.
Well,
Wow.
Docs has some terrible ideas.
That was weird. Man, I had left something paused and muted in the background, and it unpaused and unmuted.
Okay. I'm just
Technology.
gonna look at our bag of fun things and evil things that we have.
Uh-huh.
I have a vague idea, although I don't remember if I still have it on me.
Well, you got a lot of evil stuff.
We do have a lot of
Yeah,
evil
we
stuff.
do
I'm
have
trying
a
to see if
lot of
there's
evil
something he
things,
would
but-
like.
I know the things that I had were left at the apartment. So I don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
I
Probably.
mean, it's
Do I think I have them?
it's still on my sheet, so I can assume I have it.
Yeah. You do
I
have...
have. So I have a spell book of a high-ranking cult member.
None of you could use that. It's not been helpful.
Yeah.
I have a definitely good aligned sword that loves me.
Uh-huh. But you wouldn't want to part with that.
No, it's mine.
It's your precious.
It's my precious. Need that. I don't. I'm just trying to think out of this evil stuff list is what he would want. Also, I don't know what half of this stuff does.
Yes, half of it you do not know what it does. You only identified some of them.
This should have been brought up to me. I have Identify as a core spell that I always have memorized.
I mean, also a bunch of them are like horrible artifacts, which are not necessarily easy to, read.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we remember where we got the Mask of the Dealmaker? Because I don't remember if I should have that on me. I don't remember
Ooh,
where we got it.
that was in the Asmodean temple. That was one of the items that they had assembled that was to deal with summoning and using the power of devils and stuff. That was like where you found the scroll of the gate and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also the gem that could totally summon Mephistopheles to help you out.
Okay, so I don't have it then.
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
that's where
Because
that's what
totally you would want him to
You're
show up
scared of
and help you out. It would be a great idea. Mephistopheles would love to assist you in doing stuff for Asmodeus.
I'll be
Yes.
honest, that's something I would love to give to him.
That would
Yes.
that would be
If
nice.
we had it, that would probably.
Because he's probably
The
the only
best
one
and
who
worst
could actually
idea.
bother with that. Well, it's more like he might actually be able to sway Mephistopheles. We would just be smoten by him.
Yeah.
Now, he would probably see if you had anything to offer him and then smote you for the insolence of summoning him. Anyway,
Yeah.
it'd be after the deal he'd smote you,
That's
you know?
true.
Yeah.
So I do
Um,
not have the things that. Any of the fun things. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming we didn't leave the bag of evil things unaccounted for.
No, you probably have that with you because you really wouldn't want to leave it somewhere.
Yeah, that would seem like a terrible idea to leave this bag of horrible evil items unattended.
I mean, they
Unattended with-
literally radiate evil. Like
Yeah.
half of them are oozing off black energy that is very palatable constantly.
Yeah.
Problem is also carrying that around is a problem as well.
No, Doc doesn't care. Doc says bigger problems.
That's fair. You have a sword that radiates
has a
terrible.
sword.
I have a sword that I've failed 3 saves on, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a horrible blinking eye. You have this mask that's just constantly growling. You have a chalice that oozes black energy, and some of it has occasional that looks to be like faces in it, screaming. You have a gem that constantly drips blood, and mantle, which is just oozing darkness. A skull, which probably could talk to you if you wanted to, but it talks in a language none of you want. A wand that gives you whispers of a demon lord, a demon prince.
What's this speaking?
Does anybody know? I'm gonna say it's like a version of a language. Like, I don't know if they did it in 5th edition. I don't think they got a. Did they have like a necrol in 5th edition?
No, there's no necrol in 5th edition. I think that's kind of wrapped in abyssal.
Then it might be something like a version of like abyssal. It's close to abyssal, but if none of you know
Because
that.
I have
know
abyssal.
Yeah, you can make out parts of it. I mean, the skull probably demands that you, if you interact with it, demands that you find its body so that it may rebuild itself.
Side.
Okay. So Doc gets the phone. That's an item.
I mean, you can deal with the skull because it can do stuff for you too. You know, it's that catch-22.
I say let's give. If we have all these things on us, then I say let's give him the thing that summons Mephistopheles, because we're never using that.
I don't have
don't
that.
have that with you. You got that earlier.
We specifically left in the apartment because it was
It's probably in a box that has "Do not touch."
Yeah.
Buried
There's
under
some-
some
Do not
stuff.
touch. Do not touch, or you will die, and
Exactly.
we will die, and everyone will die.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc will...
Actually, probably just better to leave it in an unlabeled box with a note on the inside.
Yeah.
So people...
And you
Because a box
probably...
with "Do not touch" on the outside is way too curious for people.
And also,
Right.
you probably don't really want to get rid of Godslayer, because that's a really terrible idea.
Yeah, that seems bad, and also Doc kind of wants that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can
Because
I-
again, like,
with
it does
this-
make them killable. It just doesn't remove all their horrible powers that they can use
Yeah.
against you to render you into goo.
With the insight check I rolled, can I get an inkling to, like, what exactly he wants?
What he'd prefer.
Aside from, or what he would prefer?
I get the feeling that because, like, he is very loose on his plans now. You definitely are sure that Asmodeus is either his father or grandfather or some kind of direct relative to him. He did say he had slight mortal blood in him, which means that there probably was, like, a half-fiend somewhere in his ancestry, or a tiefling or something that ended up with actual devils, etc., etc. You're not sure the exact lineage. But he's definitely descended from Asmodeus. It also seems like he at least has a favor with Asmodeus, kind of like if he is like a child or a grandchild, you know, kind of like puts up with a lot of his shit. And you could give him something that could help him be more of a shit.
Alright, yeah, no, Doc's... I know what I'm gonna give him. Okay. Doc is gonna reach into his magical fun bag of evil stuff and pull out the beast mask.
Okay.
And offer that the ability to create lycanthropes and control them. Because he has a supply of humans here.
Interesting. The sacred relic of Malar. To think you would have ended up with that. Wait, what's that? You can even hear Malar's voice whispering to you when you tap it a little bit. Well, technically when you put it on, but I can tap it and hear it. What's that? Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, I'm a monkey?
Nice.
I'm sure I could find someone around here who can use this properly. Just have to mess with their minds a little bit so they're not influenced by the voice. It's a useful item. Not the best, but a useful item. Should I accept this? good question. What's that horrible mask? Ooh, I will claim my revenge against you and slaughter you and rip your flesh from your bones, etc., etc. Ooh, I'm a monkey. Okay.
I don't know what any of this other stuff does, so I don't know if it would be something that can fuck with things. But that's all Doc's got.
When did you get this stuff? Was this when I was gone for
This,
that
oh
period
yeah.
of time?
So in Fantasy Japan, we found a room full of evil items and took everything.
Yeah, apparently.
I was gone that day,
Yeah.
and I should have identified all of this by
Yeah,
now.
and I took a sword that started talking to me.
Mhm.
It's
I
my
knew that's
best
where you got
friend
that,
now.
but
Yeah, no, all this stuff is from the same room.
yep.
Most of them are identified technically. There's a few others that I like.
It's just I don't know what they do.
They do. Like, the Mantle of True Darkness, takes on, like, a, portion of the Plane of Shadows, that you can bring forth. You can convert an area around you to, the Plane of Shadows itself, and make yourself into effectively living shadows that merges with it. So you can become akin to a god of a small realm temporarily. It does have horrible side effects. The blood,
As you'd expect.
yeah, but you could use it, and it's very powerful. The blood gem, it can create blood elementals. It requires blood to do that. It also has the unique ability to gather blood for you. Sometimes not. With the
Let's not hand
consent,
him that, because he'll probably just
yeah,
pull all
the
the blood out of our
non-consent
veins.
of those that it will be used on. We'll put it that way: the non-consent of just drawing out all people's blood in a horrible.
Yeah, that seems like a bad one to give him.
Because he'll probably just turn around and use that on us.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. Skull of the Lich King is in fact the what remains the severed head of a. Well, it technically is a crystallized demi-lich. It has been made into some form of crystal akin to diamond that has sealed it away. It could be freed, but it has powerful magical abilities if you can convince it to help you. It can also be hostile, because it is a being that's trapped in there, and probably wishes for the death of all life. Wand of Orcus.
That one doesn't sound like something he'd even bother with. Wand of Orcus.
No.
Okay, here we go.
That's the actual Wand of Orcus that's been dropped here to corrupt
gross.
humanity until Orcus will claim it back for himself. Because he does that occasionally for shits and giggles. He gives it to people.
Yeah, I know about this. Yep. Okay. It's pretty much like the Mace of Molag Bal.
Yeah. Fleshbinder. Fleshbinder. Okay. Worm. Remember Semiche?
Yes.
Fleshbinder does a lot of that shit.
Got it.
It's fleshcraft. The Regalia of Undeath gives very powerful control over the undead, but the wearer itself gets some undead-like abilities that may or may not become permanent over time.
Okay.
And the black
Seems like something I need to use.
The Black Chalice of Souls can devour the souls of those that are fallen and use them to fuel very powerful dark rituals that are very murdery. It also
Give him that.
Yeah.
also can technically be used to once a year there's a special ritual that could be used with it that can it will devour the souls of everything living within a certain area. Basically like a 500 feet save or die for everything alive in that area.
Well, that's a ritual. We can get out of here in time.
It does take a little while, just a tiny bit of time. So you're gonna give him.
I mean, the moment he says you can go, we're not going to kill you. We're booking it.
Yes. So you're going to give him the Black Chalice of Souls and the Beast Mask of Malar. You know,
Yep, sure.
star these.
Yep.
That seems fine.
Yep.
I mean, devils deal in souls, so I mean, it definitely would be very helpful. He's gonna be much happier about that one. He's like, interesting. I don't know where you found this, but I could think of some wonderful uses for this. So you effectively gave him a mystical weapon of mass destruction.
Yep.
Yep.
That's fine.
Have it.
That's alright. We're evil. This is stuff we should be doing.
Having a weapon of mass destruction doesn't bother me. Having a weapon of mass destruction that he can use immediately on us does bother me.
And he
Yeah, as long as it's not used on
probably
me, I'm
won't
fine with
just
it.
use it willy-nilly. He is lawful evil, meaning he would use it on his enemies after he's appropriately declared war, etc.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's hey, will you submit to me? No? Okay, then die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Mm-hmm. There's a proper way for everything. They're
Yeah.
not submitting, then you can murder them. You just don't go murdering outright. Come on now.
Exactly. It's the code of conduct.
Exactly. I'm gonna eat M&Ms. All right. Now that you've given him his gift, let's take our first break here. That's a perfect spot for it, and then we can worry about you possibly leaving and getting out of this place before bad things continue to happen to you.
Do I have a teleport spell?
Well, I have a teleport spell. I don't think I do.
If you need a drink, snack, or bathroom break, go ahead and take it. I'm going to eat my M&Ms in the meantime, and then we'll be back in a little bit. All right, we've returned. Successfully-ish. Successfully-ish. Successful enough. So, what's your plan then? He has accepted your seemingly offer and has, as of right now, not done anything threatening or murdery to you.
Make like a tree and get out of there.
Dox will respectfully bow and then leave unless stopped.
That's a good point too. Yeah, that one.
Okay. He'll kind of like let you walk out, and as you're kind of like moving away, he'll say like, "Oh, and just one final thing. If my adventures take me close to you again, don't mess with me, and don't talk to me again. I don't like errand boys being used, when someone could talk to me just directly. It wasn't even... You're not even an actual devil. One of you is some kind of pseudo-monstrosity, created through some dark, twisted deal, I'm guessing. Or you're the real thing, I can't tell, but whatever. Still, you aren't directly under Asmodeus. You're messengers. And I don't like that. And I'll leave it at that. Alright. You can go now. Alright.
Bow and leave.
Yep.
Don't even address it. Just leave.
Mm-hmm. What is your overall plan then?
Get as far away from the wound as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then cast sending to that guy to say, "Hey, we need a ride back, or we'd like a way back."
Okay, so you're gonna like send out the message to be like, we need a ride back.
After we've left the wound area.
Ah.
Probably be like, hey, we're done with our business. What you?
Look now, I'm on the trail of something really good. Can you give me a couple of days? Just find somewhere to hang out. If you, why don't you go back to where we were staying? I could easily meet you there. How about that?
That works.
All right then. Excellent. I'll be by. Good luck. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, the passage back to where you had been will take you, back through the wilderness. But after a while, you notice something strange and different from when you first came this way. There's a large mound of dirt in the way, or like a hill that hadn't been there before. There's a new hill.
That's weird.
And your path takes you technically right over top of that hill. The path seems to disappear when it comes to that hill.
Maybe we should go.
The path you were
around.
on wasn't really a great path anyway. It was like kind of like a old stream bed or something.
Yeah, maybe we should go around it. Hills just don't appear like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty weird. You want me to scout it out with my wings?
I have a...
I could go along and say what kind of thing it is right now.
I have a slightly less dangerous way of handling this.
Oh, really, I can avoid in danger quite well. Right,
I'm
you're...
gonna scout it out with Arcane Eye.
Okay, alright, make a perception check with your eye.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It'll pop up eventually.
One day.
Again, you gotta remember my sheet's weirdly warped. I click on something and it like freezes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Okay. The entire thing is a little odd. There's a lot of dirt and junk on it. Little scrubs. Other than like small scrub bushes, there isn't a lot of plants. A few strange rock formations that seem to be spread out through under it. It just seems to be a large mound. Like, it definitely stands out as something that's out of the way in this area. A weird mound of dirt. But, like, even looking...
Are there any small
over
openings?
No. There's not even caves on it.
I more mean, like, is there like a small dot that something may or may not be breathing through that I can shove my thing through because it can fit into anything as small as a 1-inch diameter?
Nope.
Dang.
Nothing that you notice on this mound.
Well, I'm gonna keep this thing observing it as we go around it.
Okay.
So it's just above, looking down, watching for anything to change.
Going to the left or to the right around it?
I don't know. What? My instinct is left. What about you guys?
Left sounds fine.
Alright.
Pretty arbitrary choice anyway.
Okay. You'll be kind of going around it to the left, and about halfway around it, the ground will start to shake.
And
Well, that's not good.
let's see. points for that. Yeah, that's fine.
I will need perception checks from everybody, though, too.
Okay, I have that.
Another one?
Okay.
Yes, another one. From you specifically, not using your eye. Hey, Doc sees nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say There's
As-
driving, so I'm not going to roll for her.
Has this tradition of these.
Okay.
I see all.
So, Mishka,
See everything.
you will notice something incredibly strange. What's up?
You got some socks.
That is
got
incredibly
soup.
strange, yeah.
A soup and some socks.
Sucks.
Socks.
And suits are
What
pretty
kind? What kind of soup?
I've got no clue.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're warm. Just give me this hand.
Uh-huh. Warm me up. There you go. Okay. Uh-huh. Warm those ears up. You've been outside. And
Who have you been talking to?
I'm technically talking to them. Don't do that. Behave yourself. Go. I'm on screen now. Go. You're naughty. Bye now. Go. Aurora. Aurora. Stop it. Okay? Behave yourself. I love you. Mwah.
Don't kiss me.
Go away. Go away.
You can't push me.
Aurora, go. You're misbehaving and I'm going to punish you for this. I am going to punish you if you don't stop right now. Okay, great. Love you. Bye.
Grammy set me up here.
I know, but I just wanted you to get going after you were done. And thank you very much for your stuff. So,
We were
Mishka,
at Target for like 3 hours.
you were Target for quite a while. I hope you got all your shopping done.
We paid like $3,000.
I'm sure it was $3,000. Anyway, bye. Oh. Where was I before small child interrupted? Mishka seeing
But I
stuff.
found something strange.
Giant mounds started to move, and Mishka noticed something.
Mishka, you'll notice that there's this weird, like this place, pretty desolate, but occasionally you get these areas of, like, small trees and patches, you know, kind of very, like, outback-y, you know, savanna-y, that occasionally, there still is a few trees here. One of these weird trees that's nearby, you'll notice something strange. The branches are disappearing.
Okay, tree. What's this weird?
So, like, to your left, like, you went around this mound on your to its left side, but to your left, there's this tree with disappearing branches.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I will point this out. Like, branches seem to be disappearing over there.
I feel like that's not normal.
No.
You watching it, you'll notice that the tree branches are actually shrinking into the trunk.
I'm going to start moving my eye in that direction.
Okay.
Oops, I didn't mean to click that again.
It'll float over that way at its normal eye speed, 30 feet at a round. It'll take a while. It's a really big mound, you know.
But the idea is, though, that I'm going to continue moving while the eye goes to check it out.
Okay.
Because I'm not stopping.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll this d20 here /R1d20. Let's see.
RE venture over.
Oh, hey, that's a 15. So you'll see, like, the ground under you will shake, and Thursday will do some crazy car maneuvers as this, like the ground that you are in will kind of raise up. As there's this kind of, like, strange flat head, where you'll see this, like, the tree structures withdraw back into this nose structure on this thing. As there is a large, it could best be described as it looks kind of like, in its form, like a soft-shelled turtle, where it's got that kind of flattened body and stuff. Except the entire thing seems to be made out of, like, a black metal. You chose poorly. See, it's why you needed Jess here. She would have said go to the right, and I would have been like, less would have happened. But I said everything's gonna be to the left, and I chose left.
Okay. Does it look like
Did you say something about the left and the right?
You had choices.
we did have choices?
I mean, an arbitrary choice is hardly a choice. But
I know, it was a random chance. I gave the random
Did
chance.
is this thing looking like it's gonna attack us, or is it just kind of there?
It currently is kind of there. It doesn't seem to have necessarily noticed you.
Okay,
per
the
se.
moment it tries to do anything towards us, I'm gonna do something. So
Okay. Avoiding it as it's kind of emerging from the dirt, you will see 4 legs. So on each side, seeming like the because you've driven past the head now, you'll see on the side you are like 4 arms or like kind of emerge out on that one side of the body. So it's like an 8-legged turtle. As kind of the dirt and stuff will kind of flash off of its body in this kind of dust cloud that's going to actually envelop you and kind of blind everything for just a little bit. All of a sudden, this massive foot will come down, and like Thursday will like swerve out of the way as it's kind of like taking a step, and she's just you can't really see a lot. But I'm gonna keep her 15 for massive driving maneuvers because I just had her roll awesome, and I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She was the one that passed the driver's ed.
yeah, she's the
I
only one
also
that
know how to
drive.
drive, though.
You
No, I
do know how to
too.
drive too. You learned the operational skills. You're like, beep, 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 beep. I've learned the operational skills of this vehicle.
To be fair, like
Doesn't necessarily mean I know the laws of the road, but
knowing
off-roading is
the
great for me.
knowing the mechanics of driving is different than knowing how to handle a vehicle.
Well, again, my character learned how to work in a modern setting, basically. So that was the idea. So I should know how to drive it. That doesn't mean I know the laws of the road, but I should know how to drive. Also, I did drive over here, so I've at least had some practice anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I don't know what kind
Okay.
of soup this is.
It's always good.
It's not
I
bad,
don't know what this is.
but I don't know what it is.
Mystery meat soup.
Yeah.
It might be seafood.
Ooh.
Maybe like a crab soup, maybe? I don't know.
Clam chowder.
It's not like... It's like a orangish color. Soup. Anyway. Enough of my mystery soup. You'll maneuver. You'll avoid the cloud will end. As this creature... It will definitely be kind of like have this weird... Like the head will be kind of snaking out and kind of glaring towards like your direction and kind of like... As it will kind of like... You don't even know if its mouth is moving, but you have this like kind of low guttural noise that sort of like comes across the land and kind of reverberates through everything. And kind of shakes your vehicle.
What does it do?
Floor. Pedal to the metal.
Okay, Docs. About how far is this creature from us?
Pretty far still. The fact is, it's like, it's big.
In terms of
It's probably
feet,
like,
how far would you say?
Also, guidance on Thursday.
Yeah, it's probably like 150 feet away from you right now.
150 feet.
Is
Okay.
it angry at us, or is it just
You're
kind of like
not sure.
vibing?
So near it, but still away from us, Docs is going to cast. I need to see what this casting is at higher levels do. Nothing for me. Okay. I'm going to cast Major Image of a larger creature that fits in a 20-foot cube, kind of like.
I don't think a larger creature can fit in a 22.
Well, you know what I mean.
Description.
You know what I mean.
as large as you can make.
Larger
as large
than
as I
you.
can make it.
Yes, larger
large as in
Yeah.
the size category.
Yeah.
Sort of, they're kind of roaring and being angry and stepping up to this thing. Just as a distraction as we get the hell away from it. It looks very real, has very real smells. This creature will have to make an investigation check to discern it.
Okay.
Yeah, an intelligence investigation check against my spell DC, which is 17.
Okay. So it will kind of like again have that reverberation noise, as then you will see like this weird glowing go down the neck, this like that long neck that's kind of coming out, similar to like, you know, like the soft-shelled turtles. It's got that long neck that's kind of like twisted out of its body. You'll see this kind of like glowing rings come down to it, down to its kind of nose, as then it will kind of open its mouth, and you can see this kind of like strange gray fog kind of pouring out of its mouth, and then it will kind of just rear back, and this, you'll see this like just this faint like flash go out for a second, and cloud of dust. Yeah. Dirt and rubble are gonna fall on your vehicle, you know, kind of like raining down on it. As like there's the tink 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 tink, and you, whatever you created has been utterly and completely annihilated as far as you can tell. Well, it might still be there, but
it's still technically there until I like leave the radius, because it's an illusion. It can't be hurt.
Okay. That's true. But it might realize that it just annihilated an illusion.
Yeah. So I would end the concentration on it as soon as that happens.
So certainly it was distracted by this threatening thing that it annihilated, and you'll make a quick and swift getaway, as the strange turtle creature seems to not be too particularly invested in you once that you've kind of passed far enough, fortunately.
Sometimes it pays off to have someone who specializes in illusions.
It also pays off when the thing rolls a 5 on his check. It certainly does not have plus 12 to its investigation check. Bonus. All right. You'll make your getaway, and by the time you return to where it'll be some time traveling still. You were a decent distance away. I think you were even a couple days away from where you had been, where you had rested with him during the big battle, which is where he told you to meet him.
I think it was only one day.
You're still like a day away. So it'll take a little bit of time, and you'll probably have to find a place to camp out. Why don't you make a survival check?
Okay.
Everyone or someone?
Whoever's looking for a good campsite for you.
I will help whoever's looking, so they have advantage.
Unless you want to drive through the night. You could have the option of driving through the night and keep going.
I'll just roll again, because I definitely have the best skills, so I might as well.
Yeah, roll a second time, because I'm helping you.
Yeah, you said advantage like right as I clicked it, so.
Yeah, just roll another one. It'll show up one day. One day.
It will show up one day.
Wow. A 2 and a 4.
Nice.
Well, that was just a crazy thing. I think I wet my pants.
It's certainly something you don't see every day.
I really should remember to cast guidance on myself before I do pretty much any check.
Yeah,
like this.
that's fair. Yeah. I don't think. I did a help action, so other people have to look if they want to.
You know what? I'm gonna try something here. Good old
There's
Thersy.
Thursday rolls in that 20.
Nope.
Just as good, apparently.
Just another 12. Everybody loves 12s.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what I would have
Mishka,
rolled
do you want to
if
roll?
I had actually rolled. It's a cat.
You would have rolled great. You're rolling great this episode.
Yeah, totally.
Meow.
I
I was worried that I like looked. I'm like, did that summon Damien? No, Damien's
No.
probably tormenting my mother somewhere.
No, it's one of the kittens in here. Was I supposed to do something?
If you wanted to roll like survival check,
Survival.
or if you want
Yes.
to use a help action to give Thursday advantage.
Don't give Thursday advantage. Thursday's terrible. Wow.
Yeah, everyone's terrible
Yeah, everyone's
apparently.
Absolutely terrible.
Well- I mean, you find a spot that is a spot you could totally use to survive for the night, you think.
Well, this won't protect us from wind or rain,
Mm-hmm.
but we're just gonna have to take it.
Let me check something here. Okay. I will need from everybody, please give me perception with disadvantage.
Perception with disadvantage. Okay.
Yes.
Perception. I'm gonna just quickly
Roll
set
too
my
low,
sheet
so
to
perhaps I can roll too high.
There we go. I'm just
Eh,
gonna.
decent.
Perception. Where's that on my sheet? There it is.
Okay. Mishko, do you want to roll too?
Sorry, there's like.
Yes, kitten
Oh,
distraction.
you see plenty apparently.
Okay. All right. So, 3 of you will at least notice, after resting for a while, you will discover strange things that seem to have latched onto your bodies. They seem akin to leeches, except they are armored and maybe have burrowed up from the ground.
Oh boy.
Dox doesn't notice the sand leeches at all.
Nice.
You know. Yeah, well, no, I actually could do higher casts, so, yeah. I'm just gonna cast. Tell me if this would work. And I probably should know if this would work, but freedom of movement on all 4 of us to basically get out of any grapple. Any non-magical grapple automatically. Just flush them all off. Drop them all.
You might be
I mean, you probably still have to pull them off separately, but basically you can instantly get out. It basically makes it so it's not like a pull.
Yeah. If you want a freedom of movement, then yeah, you can get rid of some sand leeches, I'll say. That's perfectly fine. Will you tell Dox to check for sand
Yeah, will you
leeches?
tell Dox?
Oh, I'll just assume there's some on him too, and just kind of start like poking at him, and you'll.
Trying to sleep.
Yeah,
Just
trying to get the
he
leeches
starts
off.
screaming and then ripping them off.
This is horrible.
Yeah. What are you doing with your sand leeches? You each have about like a dozen on you. And they're not small, too. They're like probably like 3 inches long.
I throw them in a pot, and start cooking them.
All right, then.
Okay. Dox throws them somewhere into a pile and then Eldritch blasts at the pile. If that hits, I get to make 2 attacks against the pile.
Mm-hmm. Of horrible leech monsters that were.
Right, it is 2 at this level, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the. Why doesn't that button roll damage? I messed up putting it in. Oh well.
It's fine.
There we go. There's two Eldritch Blast damages. That pile of horrible things.
They like sizzle. Probably some of your blood like flashes all over the place. You know, and they screeching like this weird noise that they're actually making. That like has this like kind of weird like screeching hiss. It's especially more disturbing when you're the ones that are being cooked, because they're continuing that screeching hiss for like 5 minutes before they actually stop. They're resistant to heat because they live in a desert.
Oh no, they're suffering.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hit them with Eldritch
So
energy.
long to fight. Takes so long to cook.
They do take quite a while to cook.
It's the worst. Like twice as long before you can eat them. Just make sure to put a lid on it.
Yep. So like 5 minutes of good, like when it gets up to heat, of good screeching and like horrible noises coming from that pot.
It's like prolonging a death. It's like cooking a lobster, but longer.
Lobster's just a little bit of time.
Ugh, that's just a little one. This is just disturbing.
Yeah, because it's going on for like minutes on
Ugh.
end. Lobsters are pretty quick when they do that noise. They don't last long. Yeah, this is just...
I didn't realize lobsters make a noise.
It's technically not a noise that they're making. It's more
Yeah,
like...
it's not
It's like
them
the
making
steam
it.
escaping from their bodies, you know.
Right, yeah, okay, I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you get it as much on like crabs. It's something that seems to be lobsters from the nature of their physical form. Don't ask me that.
The blood leech stew is ready.
Yeah! Sand leeches! Mm.
Doc will respectfully pass.
How does it taste?
Yeah.
Actually, first I'm
terrible,
going, first,
probably.
First, I'm going to cast what is it? Purify? Yeah, purify food and drink.
Good call! Very good call. The answer is... It's edible.
I've had better. Probably should
Yes!
have added more spices. Probably a lot more spices. Actually, probably should have made it all spicy.
Uh-huh.
Misha
It's-
hates this every single time.
Every time I'm curious about this thing. How does it taste?
Every time, Griselle just wants to eat these bugs. And she does not want to eat
Well,
these
you
bugs.
can't let them go to
The
waste.
stew is a little
Fair
gritty,
She
too.
hates it.
They live in the sand,
Exactly.
so they're definitely gritty, too. Like, it's purified, but it's like you get little bits of sand in your mouth, too, you know?
Oh god, it's coarse and rough and gets everywhere.
There probably would be a proper way to clean them, but you did not do that. You just threw them in the pot.
Yeah, you just shoved them in there.
Eh.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired. I didn't want to bother.
Yeah, but okay. You will deal with the problem of sand leeches. The next day, you'll continue your journey and manage to safely make it to your destination. Though I have to say, the river's already gone. The river that was like a raging river that you had to pass, a couple of days have gone by, and it is gone.
That
It is-
doesn't surprise me. It was magically created by a giant tsunami of giant beasts.
There's like evidence of like water and small puddles in places in the river basin still, but they seem to be like low points, and the majority of the water has just gone. Already flowed out. So if you need to get some water, also, there are surprisingly a large number of creatures around here now.
Oh, nice.
You can avoid them, but like things like the sand hipoes are out to get some water. The weird giraffaphants. The not quite worms. The sand crawlers, which are a cross between like it looks like a smaller sandworm and some kind of insect because it's got limbs. They'll be out. The horrible like saber-toothed fox monsters. They look kind of adorable. They're the size of a horse.
Aww.
And they spit acid.
Makes them even cuter.
Yeah.
Like a freaking giant lightning platypus is cute. Anything is.
Yes. My dire platypus is. I don't know about any of these other things.
Uh-huh. I mean, the sand hippos are just deadly. You don't want to mess with those things.
They're not my friends.
No. They could be your friend. But I mean...
Well, perhaps I could make them my friend with my animal handling.
Tried that with a flump and I got a child killed.
Not our child.
Fair.
I mean, this is an accuracy that I'm not going to argue with.
That's fair.
You got, like, Detective Conan killed. As Flump serial killer wore his face.
He's a human now. Probably gonna be fine.
No, it's probably not.
Do we want to make friends with these hippos? We can attempt it. Would you like me to attempt being friends with these sand hippos?
I feel like that's a bad idea.
I feel like I want to try it.
Well, I think
Even the giraffaphants are pretty bad to deal with.
Yeah, but if we make friends with all of them, we'll be fine.
The saber-toothed screechy fox. You know, it's kind of lanky, kind of tall, kind of monstery, with huge saber fangs spitting acid, you know?
it's
Yes!
just the cutest.
It's the cutest.
Kind of like hisses at you.
And
And then makes some actual fox noises afterwards, you know?
Screams like a woman being murdered.
Yeah.
can I make an overall theoretical animal handling check to see how well I could have done?
I'll prepare
Um,
something.
you
for
know
when
what?
you're being
I mean,
Let's-
I was about to say, if you want to go and collect water, here's a bucket.
I'll prepare an illusion to save you.
So, I would need probably 4 animal handling checks. Let's see how friendly you are if you're going to go gather water with the local
Let's
wildlife.
go!
4 natural ones.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hell.
Uh-huh.
Okay, hey.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay.
Listen, one of them, 2 of them were pretty good.
Two of
One of
them-
them was a natural 20. Come
yeah.
on, I have to have some kind
Yes,
of good
yes,
for that
you
one.
will.
That has to make up for my 12s.
The hippos, you don't want to get near them. You know you don't want to get near those things. You like when you try to make some motions, you can obviously tell they will murder the crap out of you.
Okay.
The giraffaphants, they tolerate you. It looks like they'll just tolerate you being there. The weird giraffe, elephant. You think there's something else in there? Hybrids? You're just not sure what it is because it's not a normal animal. The horse-sized fucking worms with legs. They like you.
They really love you.
Let's go.
It's got like a weird
Worm
weird worm mouth on the one end, so it's kind of like circular spiky mouth, and it's like making a weird purry noise towards you, like a
Purring noise? Yeah, I got cat worm horses.
Oh, good God.
It like vomits up like a half-eaten, half-digested rodent. You think maybe like capybara-sized rodent, and like
Oh,
kind
no,
of nudges it
capybaras.
towards
Guess
you.
what's happening?
It's like and like nudges it towards you, like as it's offering you like
Your
the
new best
half-digested.
friend.
It's really freaking. Misha hates how gross it is, but she does appreciate the offer. She doesn't want to touch it, but she will use the bucket and nudge it closer to her, just so that she's accepted it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it seems you've been accepted into the tiny pack of horrible worm monsters.
Let's go.
Oh, God. You're not bringing one of those back.
We are. These are my friends. Misha will walk back to the group with her army of worm cats.
Doc will see you approaching, and he's just gonna no. He's just gonna no.
No,
No.
I think for once I'm going to say no as well.
He's
Well,
gonna
it's bad.
just go
It's accepted.
invisible
It's accepted.
and pretend none of this has happened.
You can't make me not be accepted into the crew. I've been accepted.
We don't have to let them into the car.
They couldn't fit. They could not fit in the car.
They can be with us.
Exactly.
They're with you in spirit.
Should have cast
They
cause
can
fear.
follow us. Should have what?
Should have cast cause fear.
No! No! My friends!
Yeah, they would just dive into the earth and just like disappear under it, just like.
Don't you dare.
And dig away.
Don't you dare.
All right. Well, Doc's gonna be this rude. Yeah, Docs would be this rude.
No!
How many creatures gonna target with this?
No! My friends! I got a natural 20, leave me alone!
We have to start
Let me
doing.
have my friends!
How many of them are there? First off,
Probably like 6 of them.
I can't cast. They're fine. I can't cast to scare them all. Oh my god.
So like the one that you've really befriended, you'll notice that there's these small things that are like crawling out from between like its scales and stuff, and start crawling all over you.
Wait, what's happening?
So the one that was like the one that was really close to you, it'll kind of nudge up to you, and you'll notice that there's these like weird little tiny things crawling out from between its scales and kind of like beginning to like crawl up over you. Mm-hmm.
Are these bad?
You'll notice that they look to be like tiny inch-long versions of the big things.
Oh, are these their babies?
They seem to
Do I
now,
get-
they're now nesting in you.
Yo! We're bringing home worm horse baby cats! Because they are apparently have their nest now. Let's go!
You are their mother. They are
I am
yours.
They're mine. Let's go!
Well, what have I missed?
You know what?
My pizza showed up. early.
They
I
apparently spit up babies and she's keeping them.
apologize. Doc is not okay with it, but he's invisible right now, so he can't say anything.
Was he also trying to get water?
No,
Look,
he
I
just
also
didn't
got
want
water.
to deal. He just didn't want to deal with it.
You did
It's
at
like-
least come back with water, right?
Yes, I did
Doc-
gather the water. I didn't.
I'm filling up canteens and getting in the car.
Doc didn't want to deal with this. He said no, snapped his fingers, invisible, and walked to the car.
Let's go.
All right. So, you'll manage to like the rest of them will eventually part ways with you. Probably not all the babies. This is probably like dozens or like hundreds of them on like the mother, but like a couple dozen probably ended up on you.
Yeah.
But they will part ways with you because they can't fit in the car, and you'll eventually head to where you will relax and wait. And it will be very uneventful until Worm Hunter will show up. What the hell is his name again? Ordelin.
Oh god. Yeah.
Give me 1 second. It
It was
is
a joke.
Nick Sandworm Ordulin.
Yeah.
I was right on the Ordelin, Sandworm Ordelin, because he's totally not Crocodile
Yeah.
Dundee.
Legally distinct.
We are 100% different.
Let's take our second break here as you're waiting for it.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I can't believe you rolled a 20 on the worm.
This is just
I'm like,
poor Doc. Doc doesn't even like normal pets. He doesn't even like dogs or cats.
He hates everything that Mishi's been doing.
And now he's got a platypus and some monsters.
monster worm. Yep, it's been a day. All right, so break, snack, drink, bathroom break, anything you need like that, we'll be back in a little bit. Badoop, badoop, badoop. Hey everybody, welcome back. Important, I discovered that the mystery soup, potato bacon. Important discovery. Anyway, it's probably not that important a discovery.
Very important.
So, it will be a few days. It'll actually be 4 days that you have to stay in this cave, kind of surviving, before Sandworm shows up. Now, when Sandworm shows up, you'll notice that there's like a bunch of stuff like honked to the back of his vehicle, and like even inside of his vehicle, it seems to be filled with various things. And he'd be like, "You'll have to take your own vehicle now. Don't worry about it. Just had a good hunt. You know how it can be."
Oh, yeah.
Hard to pass
So-
up a good hunt.
Guess you didn't die. That's good to know. Get what you need done?
Yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then let's get going.
You will get no complaints from docs from leaving this place.
Same.
It is hot, there's too much sand, everything wants to kill him.
Well, I mean,
Mishka.
not everything wants to kill you. Just most things want to kill you. The usual. Where is... That's what I want to look for. Can anybody reference the city name that you came from before?
I could.
Is it
check
Old
my
Tarva?
notes.
Is it Olatarva Wastes, and Olatarva is the city
Think
next to it?
so.
I believe so also. So I don't have to just like...
Oh, actually, wait. Let me check that map.
Yes. Like, I've come to the point in
Yeah,
time...
Olatara, I'm pretty sure was the one, yeah.
That's what it says in my notes.
So a few more days of journey, and you will find yourself back in Olatara, the kind of
Oh, yeah, I have it in my
dusty
notes, too.
city at the edge of the wastes. It probably feels pretty good to be out of the waste, to be honest. There is something about that place that was just disturbing and awful and dusty and, you know, all around unpleasant. For obvious reasons. It was a wasteland. But you've survived and you've managed to leave the place. And you all feel a bit of relief. And, I mean, Mishka feels things crawling around in her clothing and hair.
Probably fine with it.
I'm okay with this.
You'll be able to pick up your dire platypus from Dire Platypus Daycare. I just love that it's at daycare. You know?
I love it, yeah.
It's happy to see you with his... It goes... Rah! Rah!
Doc is not happy to see it, though.
I hope it eats the worms.
How many levels did it gain? Any eggs?
Yeah, we're my
Yeah, what level
we're
is
the
it?
levels.
Platypi levels.
Did it learn any moves? What was there?
Bramp, 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 bramp.
It has to evolve into an adult form before it can lay eggs.
Baby platypi evolve into adult platypi.
It's horrifying.
I mean, look, we're making Pokemon jokes. They're always horrifying when they evolve. Nothing becomes cuter.
I mean, there's just some Pokemon that don't evolve that are horrifying.
Yeah, it's true. Or weird. Just weird. I mean, everybody loves a Trubbish. It's just a bag of. It's just a bag of trash. Just a bag of trash. Anyway, so, yes, you will definitely definitely enjoy being back. And Sandworm will part ways with you, heading back on his ways. He's gonna, like, just part with you, taking his stuff away, as he's gonna head for the bar. What are all you gonna do? You're back, you have your platypus, you're in civilization. It is a long journey across Oath.
First thing Doc is gonna do when he gets back, just go get a room and take a nap.
Okay.
He needs it.
He's in that. Yeah.
He needs his old man nap.
Misha's gonna, take care of her new babies. Handle how she's gonna be dealing with all of this.
I mean, you have 6 3-inch long weird worm things that are hiding in places on you because that's their nature, that eventually will become like 8-foot long worm monstrosities. You probably need like a farm for them or something.
We're trying to work. Bob.
Yes, Bob does have a farm.
He has a farm. We're gonna give
And
him
these things probably won't be picky about what they eat.
Let's go.
Oh god, you're just gonna base species time apparently.
Apparently.
There will be some issues. You probably have to like make a pen that has like
Yes, I will work with him. Don't worry.
Like they have it's a burrowing animal, so you probably need like the cement underground to like keep them from burrowing out too much or something. But still,
Yeah, do your best to stop it from becoming the tremors.
I mean, they're probably less dangerous than graboids, but that's besides the point. They're still horrible carnivorous worm monsters that tend to burrow through the earth.
Yeah, add that to the list of crimes, the legal exporting of creatures.
Yeah, well, it's on the list.
It's fine. It's like so down.
It's just getting
so
longer and longer.
It's so low.
And let's be real, people from airports do not expect people to go to the wastes, and therefore probably are not checking for those kind of creatures.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I like how Misha's been like low key the cause of like the most crimes. She herself doesn't do anything. She herself is just like, I know how to read.
Crime happens around you. You have an aura of
I
crime.
know my history, and that's it. Like, I will blindly follow anything Asmodeus tells me. Plus, I will get flumps that will murder children.
I mean, you got one of those already who can shape change into like a
You
Yakuza.
need to get,
To
you
be
get
fair,
another
right?
one now?
To be fair, she did actively take away all of his knives.
He can get
I forgot
more
how long
because
it
he can
took.
shape change into like a Yakuza dude, and
You're absolutely right.
he's probably doing worse crimes now because he can do worse crimes. And he can just transform back into a flump to hide it, and no one expects the flump to shape change into a person, do horrible murders or like crimes, and then change back.
Point is, she isn't actively involved in this. She's simply.
You just enable them.
You just enabled him.
I enabled him, yes.
This is a high accuracy. The amount of enabling here. Yes. The flump did
It's
nothing
all
wrong.
Mishka's fault.
The flump
But it's
and
okay.
his nice person.
You've got some worms to cuddle at night to keep you happy, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flump,
And my platypus.
the flump and his nice person face have nothing wrong. Did nothing wrong. Nope.
They did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, what is your plan for, well, escaping this place and heading out? What's the plan?
It's an excellent question.
You can definitely go back. Again, like, most of the major airports are probably not going to take you necessarily all the way to Faerun. You can definitely get airplanes that'll cross the ocean from,
Get back to Dwa or Kozakura.
maybe even,
Maybe down to here.
Maybe even Sakartha, you could take it to. Kozakura, you could definitely take it. Like, there are probably planes that... Oh, that is not...
We can do a cruise. We can do plane hopping.
We could just have another cruise.
You could just have another cruise all the way back.
Be a very long
This is
cruise.
not the right program.
Don't forget the other way. It is a circle.
Yeah, but it's true. Depends how frozen over this north is, though.
North. I'm just thinking.
Would it be quicker to... What would be quicker, going this way or like down around here? Or even like up here? Could you even get something to go like that? That's the
For your
question.
location, you could definitely... The fastest way, tactically, would be to head east. Gonna be honest about that. To past the Kozakura, the Western Ocean. Kozakura is probably... Like, if you look at the shape, it's probably... It's the largest ocean, but it's not nearly as large as, let's say, like, for us, the Pacific. Again, everything's an analogy. It's not quite perfectly matched, you know, wise. So, you would have to head through the straits between Maztaka and Katashaka, but you could... They're technically not connected. Through the Lapongo Sea and the Pensacola Straits. Then you could head by Nimbral up by Lantan and back to Kalamsham. That would be the closest boat direction to go through. The route you originally took you south, because you took a cruise all the way to Kozakura. You went through the Great Sea, down to the Southern Ocean, up through the Eastern Sea.
Yeah, but that was also because we were, going to Kozakura, not to.
Yeah, which is approximately kind of halfway around the world. So that's usually the easiest one because that's the least going around other continents and stuff. The other direction technically is about the same length, but it's a lot more of maneuvering around stuff rather than just one big loop. As I said, planes, you could take them to Karatur at most, usually. There's a couple of airports there, because there isn't a lot of flying stuff over Os, but when you get into Faerun and a lot of things like Karatur, you have to begin worrying about things like flying monsters and stuff, which still exist out there. Hence why, less plane travel and much smaller planes. The Ocean airspace is probably the most developed. Granted, you could also maybe see about getting... there probably is an airport in Uluru. If you wanted to head north to Uluru from Ulatara, and you could then head to the eastern coast, somewhere like Marimaiku on the eastern coast, and get a boat from there. That would be the quickest boat to take, definitely. If you're looking to boats. Marimaiku would you'd probably have to arrange to be, rather than on a cruise, more on shipping, as there's probably not a lot of cruises that head in there. Probably most of the cruises that come into here are in the Bay of Limpin, so, I mean, that's not necessarily closer,
Yeah,
and you have to cross a lot of the land to do that again. That was like a week's journey that you had crossing the continent.
I think going to Uluru, taking a plane over to one of the ports, and then taking a cargo ship might be faster.
Most cargo ships usually have some passenger space. It's just not going to be, like, comfortable. It's probably going to be, like, bunk areas that they're like, hey, if you need passage, we can provide it. We got some extra bunks. You can stay there. You're paying so you don't have to work on the boat for us. But, just know that you're going to be using their cafeteria with their simplistic food and, their bunks, which are probably not going to be necessarily... not going to feel great, and it's also, then you'll have to also worry about the fact that, there's probably not a lot to do on a cargo ship for the couple of weeks it's probably going to take to get back to Kalimport. But certainly, like, they might not be going directly to Kalimport, but they certainly you could probably find one from there to Faerun. So, but you'll have to see. But if you want to, yeah, you can very easily get to Uluru and then get a plane ride across to Marikaiku. Marimaiku. If that's your plan. You want to do that?
That would be the fastest.
Okay. Then we'll say that's what you do. You manage to... the journey to Uluru is like a few days journey, not very long, but still, it's, you know, the continent is huge, and there's a lot of open space there, so, you know, you have to kind of stop at, like, a small town along the way, but once you merge to Uluru, you can get on, like a small airport there. They don't... A lot of the center territory doesn't have particularly large airports, but they've got smaller airports, so you can effectively get, like, a, one of those, like, 1960s passenger planes where it's got, like, where it's a prop plane still, so it's got the twin engines on either wing, and it's, like, the cabin is a little squished, so it's really, like, only, like, maybe, like, 2 rows on either side. Very, like, if you ever see, like, what I want to say, like, maybe like 1950s or 1940, like very early on, it's Indiana Jones, the one movie where he's in like a passenger plane. Very, very that, if you remember that. That's where I'm imagining it, like, kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember which movie that was. He was in a passenger plane.
I only remember the Last Crusade and then the first one. That's the only two I remember. I don't remember anything from Temple of Doom.
It's fine. Temple of Doom's a mixed bag. It's got some good and bad moments, and there is no more movies than that. There's just those 3.
Yeah, we don't talk about anything else. Nothing else exists.
Nothing else exists. Anyway, Marimaiku. Lightning wants you to go to Fantasy America.
But I mean,
Ankh-Rome is a place to go to. That's the north, I think, technically. Anyway,
it's Canada.
Yeah, that's up in Canada. You have to go to, like, Asmora. It's probably that. It's probably Fantasy America more than anything. So, yeah. You will find that there are boats that take you out of here. I'll tell you right now, there are 2 boats leaving today. One is heading for Tombo, which is right on the northern edge of the Lampadago Straits. Another one is going a little farther, but they are heading to... they're actually heading up into Mostica to Coxie, near the Bay of Coxie on Mostica. Those are the 2 that are leaving today. If you're asking around, there are a couple heading for Faerun, but they're coming in. There is one that's going to be heading for the Moonshae Isles. They're leaving in about 5 days. And in a week from now, there's one that's actually would take you not to Kalamsham, but they are planning actually to go all the way to Talishar, which is across the Shining Sea, kind of near Chult, across the ocean from Kalamsham. But they're leaving in a week. So there are no heading directly for Kalimport right now. Boats come in. Probably about, up to a half dozen ships leave in the course of a week. So it's like, it's a pretty major shipping port. But, unfortunately, it's not that major. It's not like Kalimport, which probably has ships coming in daily. It's got, ships going out daily. It's a place that's got a lot of, it's got ships coming in pretty often, like pretty big, like, and the port is built to have big cargo ships, but also a number of smaller ships are in the area too. It seems a lot of the other trading vessels are going to other places along the coastline and such. So that seems to be a lot of their, since they are on the edge of the Nalakoa woods, they tend to be trading along the coastline, and also they have some boats which go up through Kiptu Lake and head deeper into that area. In fact, some of their trade routes take things in and out from Uluru to get through the plains and stuff. But that usually is a lot slower of a journey there, so,
Okay.
Which boat do you want to take? There are 4 options, each one with their own advantages and disadvantages. 2 of them would take you to the wrong continent. Again, you could go right away to get to those, but not that you couldn't leave from those places too. The one would take you relatively close to Faerun. You're in the Moonshae Isles. The thing about the Moonshae Isles is you don't know a lot about it modern day, but in the old days, it was very Wild Westy piratey. It was an area where a lot of these cities were on their own, and there was a lot of, like, lawlessness. You're not sure how it's evolved nowadays, because you really haven't looked into it. And Tashalar, well, I mean, it's across the ocean, or the Shining Sea from Kalimport, so it's not too far. You just also, I don't know if any of you would be familiar with it at all.
Doc's definitely not. Doc's is too far north from the Sword Coast.
Yeah. Alright, I mean, Tashlar is probably a relatively friendly location. It's just that they weren't... I'm going to tell you, probably, those of you that lived in Kalimport know it's a small, exotic country, known for their beautiful weather, beautiful people, excellent crossbows, and richest wine-producing region in the world. So they are wine country. In all of, best wine country in Faerun, at least as of your era. Granted, there could be some areas of the world that are also good wine country, like places on Mastica and those other continents there that could be good.
Well, Docs would vote for the one that however you say the one you're told. That would be what Docs vote for.
Tashalar?
Yep.
That's going to leave in a week, so you're just going to have to hang around for a week.
If everyone else is fine with that.
Worm, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I did zone out there for a second, so yeah, sure, whatever you say.
Be honest, Docs is only saying it because tropical vacation location with good wine.
They're also known for their spicy foods, strong wines, and a tart fruit called... I'm going to butcher this, so I'm going to put it into chat.
Let's see it.
Did I... I didn't spell it right, also. It's a Y at the beginning. There it is. Yahamurind. Yahamurind.
So we landed where, and we're going to where?
So we landed eastern city on Os. I don't remember which one specifically.
Got it.
And we're hitching a cargo ship to Faerun area, or the other choice was some bits in Mostica that could potentially get us a boat directly to where we need to go, or to the moon shells,
Ooh.
which could also get us a boat directly.
There is something I should note that would be good to know. 2 out of 3 of your magic users will be okay there. The other might have trouble. They've always distrusted...
Where, in
in Talishar. If you go to Talishar, they've always had a distrust of arcane magic users. Not divine, because divine are looking at other sources. Arcane are kind of assumed to be dealing with forces that are not being, manipulated through the help of others. Hence why distrust. They're also weird because all of them apparently have have fortune teller stuff on them, and they love fortune telling themselves constantly. They're really an interesting people. Yeah. If you go to the Moonshays, they're probably, I'd say they're probably civilized now in comparison to what they were in the old days. But if you look into them briefly, they definitely have a lot of that pirate mentality still existing in their way of doing things. There's a little bit of savageness still to everything in the Moonshays, a little bit of danger. Granted, it's not the same as it used to be, but effectively, some of the cities are all the cities are their own governments, and there's a couple of cities that are best described as, pirate cities, that they're descended from pirates. I'd say it's more like an organized gangster family took over a city and then give them 1,000 years of being in charge of it. Think of how that evolves.
Okay.
Wait,
Well,
pirate city and then give who control?
I described it as, think of organized crime. Let's say a group of of mafia take over a city and then keep control of that city for 1,000 years unchecked. What would it look like?
Yeah, what if the
So,
mafia ruled
Australia.
Chicago for 1,000 years? What would that look like?
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably be pretty bad.
Well, it's probably going to be more like lawful evil,
Yeah.
because a lot of these places are more settled. So there's still probably not the same kind of crime rate, but still there's that level of corruption that are in a lot of these places. So up to you on that one, because there is probably still some dangers in the Moonshays. It's better than it was, but there's also still some pirates in the areas that do exist.
I got a gun.
That's an option.
The
Docks?
two locations on, let's see here. Tombo is a major trading port on the Kozakura Straits. It brings a lot of stuff into Katashaka. One of the major places to go to for that. And Coxie is a pretty decent city on the southern Mastika. It's probably not a huge one, but they do get some trade there too through that. That ship is going there specifically because they trade with some Mastican goods that come into Coxie that are shipped to Os. Those, you don't know a lot about them. Gonna keep it simple like that. You do not know a lot about either of those. You could probably look up at least Tombo. I can look that up for you.
Docs would still say either of the ones closer to Faerun.
Same.
Okay. Perfectly fine. Which one do you want to go?
Now that's the question. Docs can just not cast magic.
This is an option.
Probably be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get into a fight, he can't cast anything.
I'll just give. Let's go to the Moonshays. I'm less
Alright.
worried about the gangsters.
Yeah, I got a sword that can kill a gangster.
Okay. Going to the Moonshays. I'm going to give you now that was the better choice, technically. Talishar has strict control over any arcane users and actually has special sensors made with magic created by divine casters which detect arcane casters as soon as they enter things. And they would have heavily regulated you.
Great.
Uh-huh. Sort of very much here, have this special collar that prevents you from using your powers while you're here. Also, here, wear this that will make everybody know that you're what you are, so we can shun you.
What a terrible place. How dare they have good wine?
They really... that's the thing is, if no one corrects you, you've got generations of getting worse at what it is. And they're in an area that's very
It's true.
separated. You know, there's mountains and a forest that's very dangerous nearby to them, filled with, you know, dangerous Yanti tribes and stuff. They've had generations to just continue their bigotry. Not really near anywhere to invade, anyway. So, yeah, that's why Arcane users never visit there. Ever. Anymore. Anyway, you're going to the Moonshays. You know what? We're definitely a little early, but maybe that's a good place to stop it. We're gonna have you have your. I'm just gonna kind of skim over this here, where you're gonna have your sailing trip. You'll wait for your like 5 days before that one leaves. Spend some time in the local city. You'll see that this area of Os has a very Kozakuran influence, as this is like that the Kozakurans did some settlements kind of in the north to northeastern parts of Os, and this is kind of on the edge of it. So you got a little bit of that Kozakuran influence, a little bit of influence of what you would say would be like native Oseans, and a little bit of Faerunian, influence coming in here. It's a very interesting city that it's kind of like not really set in stone for anything, and it's kind of like evolved on its own here. So you get to enjoy some of the local culture, enjoy your time. Misha gets to spend some time with her animals. You get on the boat, which is like, as I said, it's gonna be rough traveling. It's gonna be kind of the waves across the Panzacotl Ocean are a little rough, but still doable. So, I mean, there might be some seasickness going around. I'm sure Therzy would be horribly seasick, as she always seems to be. That kind of thing. I'm assuming that she'll just fail it again. I'm not having anybody else roll, really.
Probably.
Regardless, though, it is going to be probably like a week's travel to get to the Moonshays. On this boat. Maybe more. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember how long it took you to get to Karator. I'm going to be honest about that.
Honestly, I don't remember.
It might be around that same time or a little less from your route. I'd say it's a little less than what it took you to get to Karator. Probably about like 75% of the time. Maybe like between 66 to 80% of the time, somewhere in between there. It's just like 75. Anyway, regardless, that's just me forgetting, because again, it's been like months since we did that journey. Not as many sessions, but months in time in real world, because yes. But eventually you'll arrive at a port in the Moonshays. You're actually going to arrive at, I think they will have you go to, let's check to see if that's the one I want. I'm just going to check the name here. Moonshay Isles. Give me. There we go. Because I could just use the major city. Gotta be honest, I might just use that. Man. Oh. Then you actually arrive at. Okay. The island of Oman, so the Central Iron, where the Iron Keep was, at a city called Oman. That is the city. It's the city of Formians. The ship is eventually going to be heading farther north. This is one of its stops. It seems to be it's going to be planning to head up to stop at a couple places around the Sword Coast, but this is its first stop at Oman. It is also going to stop at Kaeladir, The capital, which I think is on Alaron. Yeah. So it's up to you which city you want to get off at. I'll let you decide that next week, though. Do you want to get off the city of Formians? They're relatively friendly. They only murdered everybody 2,000 years ago and replaced them on this island and then took it over and have ruled it ever since. Good times.
That seems fine. It's alright.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The Northlanders once had their center of culture here until the Formians overtook it. Made it their own. Oh, Cyclopses live there too. Isn't that nice?
Boy. Cyclops.
Ooh. Formians are not pleasant looking. They're also probably not a really nice people. I'm gonna say that. Not terrible in the modern day, but still not a nice people. Formians, it's like when you're a chaotic evil race, I feel like if you evolve into modern day, you just kind of just are jerks. They just all kind of have like a streak of jerkness through their entire race that, individuals can get away from. But it's the unfortunate that there's plenty of them that still live up to that jerky thing that give all the others a bad reputation. They create prejudices that are hard to get away from. Yeah, bugbears. I don't know what I'm going on with that. Jesus. I'm brain farting now, completely and utterly.
Yeah.
Or I'm coming up with stupid ideas that I might correct later on. Anyway, I think we'll end it here before my ideas get stupider. That's probably the good way. It was a good session. I got you out of Os, and I got you back technically into Faerun. The Moonshae Isles are considered part of Faerun. So you're back in the home country. You're just not quite home yet. So next time we'll get home, and then we'll go on to the next part of your adventures, because I'm going to tell you, there might be a call coming in when you get back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. From a name of a person I can't remember at all. Because I'm good like that. I should remember the name. I'll have you look it up later.
Salt the notes.
That will be for next time. It also might be in my notes. Stevie Nicks will not be there. A goat will be to replace her. Anyway. What was I going to say? Yeah, everybody, shout-outs, stuff, things. Momo, go.
Momo Shu on Twitch, Saji Shu on Twitter. I stream at this point like once every 3 months.
All right then. Worm, shoot.
I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or at DiamondWorm on Twitter. I stream once a week. Still trying to figure out exactly when I like best, but either Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Saturdays.
Okay. Jinx, go.
I'm Jinx Jams on Twitch and Twitter. I will definitely be streaming Thursday. I don't know what other days. My schedule was a mess.
Yay, mess schedule. I'm Ted Savage Coven. The only thing that's not a mess usually are my RPG shows. Everything else is up in the air so much. And they're even, sometimes a mess. This show, for example, cough, cough. And tomorrow's show, for example, cough, cough. So, yes. Hopefully we'll be having Legacies of Kain tomorrow. That's at 2 p.m. EST. That's a Vampire the Masquerade game. Then Thursdays, Children of Wrath. That's a D&D game set in the Magic the Gathering world of Dominaria. That's at 8 p.m. EST. Theoretically, then there's Discussing Tabletop on Saturdays at 2. And then the rest of my schedule is when I get it in. I should probably be having some more stream and gaming streams at some point this week. That's all I can say. I don't know when. I'm getting back to some things and trying to rebuild a little bit of a schedule, and this involves it. So, anyway, thanks for joining us today, everyone. It was an interesting day. It was fun. Mishka ended up with more pets, which entertained me very much so. I mean, I did not expect a 20 for the worm monsters.
Is upset granddad.
27 on the worm monsters.
I want Misha and Docs to continue having this relationship where it's just like Misha totally enjoys Docs, but Docs just hates her.
Doc hates
Just-
the things you do.
Exactly.
I just expect like every time to bring home like a new animal. Like it's just like you're like, can I keep it? And people have to be like, no, please no.
Everyone says no, but they attach to her anyway.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. So everybody have a good rest of your day. Hopefully we'll be back next week, same time. Well, I'm gonna say for now, same time, same place. You know, we're gonna tentatively say like, because we're trying to work it down. We'll tentatively say 3, but again, we're gonna discuss
Maybe-
it. And if we
maybe
do,
2.
if we do 2 o'clock, we'll let people know on Discord and
Yeah.
Twitter. So it's kind of gonna be depending on when we can get everybody alive and awake at these points in time. You know, with how things have been. So if there's delays, there's delays. But we gotta do what we gotta do. Anyway, for now, farewell, goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.